Where do I begin? My brain and I is what I call this one. I think. Okay, let me get settled properly. Let me take my headset off. Get comfy. Get nice and comfy. Okay. My brain and I. Where do we begin? Maybe if you're like me, as in me, an adolescent, anyone under the age of 20, I suppose, maybe even like 25, maybe even 30, you may be struggling to find yourself, as they say. Personally, I know I'm too young to know that much. I don't really know where I'm going with this. I did not script. I think a big part of adolescent life is to grow with the people around you and learn. And I don't mean learn as in read an entire dictionary or learn complicated mathematical theorems and do all that sorts of stuff, vocabulary, and expand your vocabulary. I mean, learn not how to be a social being, but a social. Hi. What? Alright. Never mind that. Making me a little anxious. I don't think I mean how to be a social being. I think I mean what it means to be sociable in a normal environment. I've talked to so many people, or at least what feels like so many people in my very short lifespan so far. It's weird getting this out with my voice to no one. Let's put it this way. As an adolescent, you don't know what you are going to be and what you have the potential to be. Now, what I mean by this is you have the potential, but what you don't have is the idea of what to use that potential for. You don't know where to put that potential. And one thing this is so hard for you to describe my thought, but it helps. I think adolescents often find themselves saying their life is insufferable, whether they come from a wealthy family or they come from a poor family or middle class family or any sort of family. It doesn't matter where they come from. In their past, they feel as though they are, or their life is, insufferable. And I think that's very hard to understand. I read books here and there. I never had the motivation to ever finish them. I always just read them when I feel like reading them, so that way I can not just read but consume the things I'm learning. Because for me at least, it takes a lot of brain power to read something and then process what you're reading and whatnot. And sorry if there was a bit of, it sounds like there's a bit of continuity error. I went to go get a cookie. So a big part of adolescent life is sociability. And for some people, it's harder to be sociable, especially online. And if it isn't obvious enough already, if that isn't as clear enough already, you could count the times I've said in this recording. It's probably like my 20th time. Oh my gosh. I cracked myself up. That's one of the things. There it is again. It's gonna bother me every time I say it now. Is that when you're an adolescent, you struggle more to comprehend ideas. Now, what schools have done in a modest attempt to help counteract this idea is to provide questions that come along with the book, with a book you may be reading in your college class or your high school class or your middle school class, whatever it may be. When you're reading a book, tendency is to answer questions. What I find myself doing often is that when we do this, it seems to only help improve our writing skills and not so much our comprehension skills. I know it's egotistical of me to say that I represent most of the adolescent community, which I do not. Adolescent community, that sounds fucking stupid. But no, I don't represent most adolescents, that's for sure. Um, but I find that when I have to do comprehension questions, I usually don't comprehend what is going on in the book. Or at least I don't retain it for more than the length it takes me to write the question. If you were to ask me a question about, let's say, what was the scene with Hamlet and whatever her name was, Olivia, I forget her name. I would have gave you the answer, and that would have been it. And while that did help me write and improve on my writing skills to explain it more in depth, I didn't really retain the information that I had learned from doing that, or saying that, or understanding that, because I felt that, or maybe subconsciously, there was a reason that I didn't feel the need to retain it. Or maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm being ridiculous and every other adolescent is perfectly sane and I'm the crazy one, which wouldn't be a surprise. At least I don't feel like it is. Maybe that's just my self-loathing, my internal self-loathing speaking, trying to tell me that I'm not smart enough or good enough. Like, I don't know. There it is again. Fuck. Oh my god, I keep saying. But I feel as though adolescents tend to do the bare minimum and take the easy route. And that's just my experience. That's people I'm around with. And even the better people that I'm around with still seem to do that. They'll take the easy route. They will go in to a textbook. They'll try to find all the answers. They'll look up online where the answers are. It's the easiest way to go about things. And why that is the way I tend to do things sometimes, and others tend to do things, others around my age tend to do things that way sometimes, is unknown to myself, and possibly even them too. So, the point is, it's hard for adolescents to comprehend a certain subject, certain adolescents to comprehend a certain subject over a short period of time, especially like a year. I mean, you see math teachers go to college for 4 years to learn about one math subject, and then they try to cram it all into us in 136 hours. 136 credit hours if you have a 6-hour school day and you have 180 school days. And it's kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of ridiculous in a sense. Maybe ridiculous is a strong word, but I feel as though I'm not going to be able to comprehend everything I'm being taught by the end of the semester, or the class, or the year. So, that's my thought on that. I don't really know where I started with this. And I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the guy. Not the guy, that guy. That one guy that you don't like. But like probably the millions of other people, billions even, on the planet that think they're special, I have ADD. And sorry, maybe I'm so bad with words, you can tell. It's not that me. I am speaking. I am not speaking for people. I'm not saying that everyone I've met who has ADD is a special snowflake. And to be honest, I don't really want to believe there is such a thing as a special snowflake. I don't believe there is certain circumstances that make people think that they are more important than others. I think everyone has this deep-rooted feeling that they are like everybody else. I think everybody knows they're like everyone else. And there is no special snowflake in the world. And that the special snowflake ideology might be just a way to avoid trying to be like everyone else and be different. And sometimes I can see some people might want to be different, especially if the people they are around, are just really not good people. I mean, of course you'd want to be different if the people you're around were just genuinely not good people. You want to. I think if you were in a cult and that cult did something bad, and you realized that what your cult did was bad, I don't think you'd want to be associated with the cult. And I think that's the same way with the human race. The humans as a race. If a human does something bad, another human might try to act different because they feel ashamed of their own race. Okay, I think my software cut for a second there. Sometimes I even feel that way. I feel as though sometimes I don't want to be a part of the human race. And, that's just being dramatic. That's just being a little over the top. But it's hard to realize maybe that's what the problem is. I don't think that's always the problem with the special snowflake mindset. It could be a number of other things. I mean, as humans, I don't think you'll ever be able to understand how different every single individual person is, even if physically we are all the same. And it's a very weird concept for me to comprehend that, and I think for anybody to comprehend that, it's weird to say that on one side of things that we're all the same, but on a different side of things we're all different. And I think the way you would separate that is that we all have, as human beings, have the same instinct, but I think we have different ways of processing that instinct. We have ways of achieving the goal of an instinct. If I wanted to, let's say me and a friend, let's say two people are fishing. Let's say one person, they both want to go fishing. Now one of them is going to use a fishing rod, and the other is going to use a net. Now, they're the same in that they have the same goal, but in the ways of accomplishing that goal, they're different. And I think that's what makes every individual different, is that we are all seeking happiness, but or maybe not even happiness. Maybe we're seeking to be rich, we're seeking fortune, we're seeking fame. And that every individual has a different way of going about that goal. For me, it's to be happy, to be thoughtful towards others, to try and be more kind. I definitely can't say I've been kind in the past. I've definitely been very rude to people. And I often think about it, and I often wish I didn't say the things I said, but sometimes I feel the need, like most, to protect the things I care about, the people I care about, the ideologies I care about, and the way of going about that may not be good. And usually it never is. It's never good. At least for me, when things get a bit out of hand, things can go wrong. I mean, what is there to say about that? I mean, sometimes all you can do is say you're sorry, but I think we all know for some cases, sorry is never enough. Gotta feed that wolf more. I want to make people happy. I think that's my main goal. And then maybe after I make people happy, as my main goal, I blow up and act like I don't know nobody. That was dumb. I hate that. Oh, man. Listen, sometimes when you don't have an audience, you gotta laugh at yourself. Maybe this whole rant is pointless, and someone has already debunked everything I'm saying, and I just was being too lazy to do all the research and look into it. And that, that can be true. Anything is possible in life, and I'm just trying to live life moment by moment and enjoy every moment. Not try to look too much into the future, as I am not a psychic or anything similar related to the sorts. But I think we should all, as human beings, try to be more considerate of what we think of each other. We don't just look at someone and judge them by their cover. I think we all need to acknowledge our own thoughts more. That's for sure. I think we need to acknowledge what we are thinking, and maybe even say what we're thinking out loud if it helps us understand. I know in this case, saying all this stuff into a computer microphone is making me feel like I understand my own thoughts a little better, and sometimes even doing this makes me realize that I might be wrong. And maybe that's just me, or maybe we should all do that. But I think it's best if we all maybe not turn things around or do anything too irrational, but we should for sure go around, and when we think about something or someone during the day, maybe at the end of the day, write down what you thought about something or someone and what you felt when you saw them, and break that down to its most basic, maybe not basic form. Basic form. And take a complex thought and break it down, divvy it up into multiple simple parts that are easy for you to comprehend without it being all congested in your brain. But that's just my thoughts. I'm trying to be more open-minded. Take criticism better. I can take some criticism, but not a whole lot. That's for sure. Maybe one day I'll grow out of that, and I hope more people who can't really take too much criticism grow out of it as well. It's truly kind of a sad sight. I think I'm gonna end this here. I'm not gonna say subscribe, leave a like, do whatever you want. If you leave a dislike because you disagree with me, tell me why. I mean, I'd rather see the comments than anything. Because the comments tell me who really liked a video and who really disliked a video. I have countless times where I've accidentally hit the dislike button on a video and probably didn't get back to undislike it. I barely even like videos in the first place, so maybe if I did like a video, I probably didn't even like it. So I think likes and dislikes don't really matter because it's not like an accurate display of what is liked and what is disliked. Sure, it helps you get up in the algorithm, but who cares? That's for sure. I'm not about getting in the algorithm. I'm about spreading what I know and receiving what others know. Or at least that's the goal for what's going on here. But yeah, just leave a comment on your thoughts. Maybe I'll do another video if I feel like I didn't get everything out in this video, or if enough people correct me, and not correct me, but more like guide me toward the right thought process of what is true about what I said and what is untrue about what I said. But if you watched this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.